All right, guys. Welcome to all my sellers, buyers, anyone that finds these videos very educated. And hopefully, the whole purpose of this is to help you out. Understand that this is live, so if you have any questions, any comments, hopefully positive, anything that could help any other viewer. If you have a question, don't feel that it's a dumb question. I know that our teachers used to tell us all the time, there is no dumb question. And the same thing with real estate. This is just a sector that we all keep on learning every day. There's new rules, there's new procedures, there's everything. So if you purchased 10 or 10 years ago, um, believe me, there might be a possibility that some things have changed, and hopefully, um, you get the ball rolling. But again, if you have any questions whatsoever, um, this will be ideal for you. Okay, and feel free to ask. Okay, and I could hopefully I see the question and just ask in the comments. But today's topic, we are gonna be talking about do not sell your home right now. Um, I know that the topic might be a little bit unusual because maybe you are so used to for a realtor to try to convince you to sell your home, instead of trying to prepare you on selling your home. So this is basically what we're gonna be talking about. Um, you need to be ready to sell your home. It's not just like put a sign in the front yard um, and let the magic happen and then leave all the weight for the realtor. You need to understand that this is teamwork. There's certain things that need to take place. Um, your mental state of mind needs to be in order as well. Um, the expectations that need to be set are also crucial. If a realtor comes and try to sell you the heavens and the earths and everything that they're gonna get um, your home sold, then I don't blame you to have those expectations. Okay, but as of right now, October 2024, um, if an agent does that here in Houston, Texas, they better back it up because the market um, is taking longer to sell a home. I mean, if you're watching this video and you say, "Oh, my home sold in 7 days," and or sold in, I don't know, we got multiple offers, then congrats. Okay, congrats. It can still happen. It still does happen. Not as quite as often as it was happening a few years ago. You could put whatever home in the market and it will sell, because people were buying. And if you didn't buy and if you didn't sell, I mean, then I'm sorry, you missed the boat. But never fear. I mean, we're here to address some things. Okay. So, a very popular issue that we have, a very popular issue that shows is overpricing your home. It's just something that keeps on happening. And like sellers don't really understand the the time frame, the logistics, the state of mind, the stress that this overpricing brings to you as the seller, and as well to the realtor. I completely understand that as a homeowner, you want to maximize your profit, right? And there is maximizing profit, but then at the same time, there is greediness. Okay. If you have if your property is way overvalued from what you purchased it, you know, congrats. Um, but at the same time, you need to be able to detect when you hitting that greedy zone, and overpricing it might affect you more than rather help you. And I've seen this time over time. Um, you're gonna be paying more electricity for utilities, right? Let's just say, for example, you moved to another location. You're gonna be paying, you're losing money on the taxes every day that passes, on utility service. Um, Now, if you are in the process of purchasing another home, now you're stuck there, and then you might even lose your other deal because you haven't priced your property. You're gonna be frustrated as time passes because the property is not moving. Okay, so hopefully your realtor gave you a good strategy. Um, Try to listen to your realtor. I understand that we have relatives that gives us advice, but you gotta understand that sometimes that advice is expired. What do I mean that that advice is expired? Is that if your uncle or your parents purchased a home 5 years ago, 3 years ago, that they can't really advise you. Yes, they might give you little tips here, like, son, do an inspection, son, do this, look, this happened to us, be careful with this, ask this question. Yeah, that's fine, but us realtors are in there all the time. The we are in war trying to get you your best deals and understanding the market. We educate ourselves. We take classes to understand the market. And then here you come, somebody that done one transaction. No disrespect to anybody that gave you the advice. But you gotta take that in consideration, guys. Overpricing is just not a good sign. You try to price it correctly as much as you can. But anyhow, look, another obstacle that might not make you sell, right? Overpricing. If you going back to a little bit overpricing, if you're not ready, if you are not being realistic with yourself, okay, don't list it. Just don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. If you want to sell your house a little bit higher, just wait until the market gets a little bit higher. Um, but yeah, this is just educational purpose. Low inventory and desired market. This happened. I had one client like this. I had a client like this that they only want to live. Well, actually, that same client, I still have them. They only want to live on a certain subdivision because their family relatives are living there, and that's fine. It's totally fine. But now you're setting yourself for only in that area, and there's even if it's only it's 200 homes, then, and if you don't like what's out there, so you letting yourself lose out. Try to look around it, other neighborhoods. This will help you expand your options. It's gonna take a lot. It really happens. um Neglecting repairs, guys. This is something, I don't know, for those who saw my video, my live stream last week. This is something that I touched. um as is, it's fine. If you've been able to maintain your property, at least regular maintenance, that's fine. But neglecting repairs is just gonna bite you. Is just gonna come back, and it's gonna hit you twice, because not only you're gonna want to not only you're gonna have to repair those make those adjustments on your home. Your buyer is gonna all they're gonna see is deduction, deduction, deduction. When they walk inside that house, all they're gonna see is deduction. They see a little crack, deduction. If they see something colors is outdated, deduction. So I would suggest for you to keep up with the maintenance of the house. It's very, very, very crucial. Um, Try to do an inspection so this way you know what's going on, and don't let it build up. Believe me, it's easier if you clean clean your airwaves. It's cool if you clean up with everything. Don't let all these repairs. If there's a leak in your faucet, hey, it's better to pay $200 than somebody trying to ask for a 600 deduction, because a buyer is gonna think, wait, if there's a leak here, that means there's a leak over there. This is bigger than they make it bigger than there is. So it's gonna hurt your pockets, and it's gonna hurt it worse. So imagine, not to repeat myself, deduction, overpricing, and no repairs. You know, it's just you building yourself for a disastrous and a bad experience. Okay, let's move on to another topic, guys. Restricted on showings. What does this mean? Restriction. I don't understand. If you never sold a property, you probably don't understand what's this. And this is simply um, your availability on when the house is going to be shown. Try to be as much flexible as possible. I understand that we all have personal lives. I know that we have kids, we have elderlies. Um, just make the realtor aware of it. Like, hey, Danny, this is what's going to be happening. Um, my mom can't really move, and make it aware, so this way when people come and show it, it's not like a surprise. But try to be as most make yourself available as possible. I understand that at nights is a little bit difficult because you want to settle in already. But yes, I guess in that aspect I might agree. um, you don't want nobody late at night, and you don't want to be exiting your house. But yeah, but that I would take in consideration. Increase rental demand. What am I trying to say with this, Danny? Is that sometimes we as homeowners only think that selling is the best option. And I understand. Maybe renting doesn't make sense to have $400 $500 extra in your pocket. But I know most of my clients say, no, I don't want to be a landlord, because you heard all the horror stories, and that is true. There is the possibility that you get one of those tenants, but there is a possibility that you get a great tenant that pays on time, doesn't give you no trouble, fixes cleans up the house, and probably when they move, you don't want them to move because they left the house better than the way you received it. There is those stories. Half of millionaires, or well, now billionaires, started with real estate, and renting is one. There's people that own 20 40 rentals, and they don't have to work, because they just started piling up. They don't believe in selling. They just believe in having money work for you. So maybe this might be an opportunity. You also got to look into your lender to see if this is a possible opportunity for you to do this. Um, but yeah, you might want to consider that. Of course, it's important to speak with your lender and your realtor to make sure that they execute this. That was another thing that might prohibit you, or might make you think twice to sell your home. The economic uncertainty, especially now, this is big right now. This is really huge. If you are on the fence of selling, This is really different, especially now that we're in an election year. I really don't like speaking of politics, but um, affects a lot of sellers and buyers. It's just a mental effect because nobody knows where's the market's going because of that. But there's other things. Maybe your job is unstable. Maybe you don't know where your finances is gonna be. You know, so all of this, it most definitely you might want to secure something, get a stable job, make sure that everything is good, make sure that probably wait a few months to see until all of this gets this going, so that's probably the best bet to do around that aspect. And I don't blame something that as a seller, if you're a seller, if you're a buyer, you need to understand something that sometimes your realtor is not utilized correctly. Okay, he is your support. He's not your enemy. Okay, there needs to be some sort of teamwork because they're there to help you out. Use their resources, use their contacts, use their connections to prepare your house. To prepare so your house could sell. I had someone that called me that wanted to sell their mom's home, but their mom had deceased. So I had to get in contact with one of my attorneys, get them in contact, get an affidavit, and get that ball rolling. They told me they didn't know what to do. So it's all about how you communicate with your realtor. Tell them what are your needs, what is your goal. This is a whole plan. This is not about just I want to sell my house, what price, and put a sign on the front yard, and well, boom, it sells. I wish I wish it was that easy, but no, there's a lot of pieces. Whether you're moving, whether you want to rent it, whether you're gonna leave out of state, who's gonna stay in the house, who's gonna stay on, all of those things. You need to have a plan with your realtor to make yourself more attractive. Okay. One of the last ones that you got to be careful, and this may not relate to you, and I think it's affecting everybody, to tell you the truth, and those are the rising mortgage rates. Now I know what you guys thinking. The Federal Reserve just announced that they're going to be reducing the rates for 0.5, right? 0.550. Okay. Please understand, if you haven't seen my other videos, I also speak about this and how it doesn't really that does not really go with mortgage rates. Okay, it's a domino effect, right? But as Mr. Powell said it himself, um, the rates have not reacted to what he has said. But truth be told, rates have come down a bit. I really don't think they're gonna come down to what we saw later. I know that you might disagree. That's just my theory as of now. I don't think we might see some fours. If you want, I mean, if you want to talk about best rates right now, real quick, will be new construction. Okay. But regarding to this, is that if you're gonna sell your home, and if you bought 4 years ago, 5 years ago, your property rates are really low. So you need to take that in consideration, because once you purchase a new home, your rates is going to be as the current rate. So that might be higher. So make sure that you could afford that monthly. Make sure that you get with your lender and your realtor so they can execute this and make you comfortable to make this out, so it could work out for you and your transaction. But again, guys, these are just topics that you should be really, really considering whether it's the right time to sell or not, you know. No, I'm a strong believer that a realtor shouldn't be convincing you to sell. Okay. Now, if you have doubts, if you had a bad experience, if you had something that you didn't like, that's different. You know, sometimes not all of us, all realtors are not, don't operate the same, you know. But yeah, take in consideration all the topics that I took. Make sure that you clear the air with your realtor, and if you don't have one, I'm here for you. Um, but yeah, be ready, prepare yourself, be mentally ready, and yeah, and just go ahead and make sure you have everything in order, guys. That is all I have for today. I hope this information is useful. Remember, drop a like or a comment. If you have a friend that this information might be uh, relatively important to them, go ahead and share it. I wouldn't mind. But to next time.